today. We had a little bit of a change in schedule, but you know, your girl always stays fly, and I always give y'all a little something extra. Welcome to the Ash Said It Daily Podcast. This is the daily podcast where we give motivation, we have a little bit of fun, and we do primetime recaps. Yes, our favorite shows, we recap those shows here. This is the recap show of one of our guiltiest pleasures ever. How to Get Away with Murder. And I have my key correspondent with me, the fantabulous TV fanatic herself, Miss Ro. What's going on, Ro?
Hey, it's doing good.
Good. All right, so let's just jump into it. The meat and potatoes of it. How to Get Away with Murder last night, November the 3rd. The episode was entitled Call It Mother's Intuition. Call it Mother's Intuition. All right, Ro. So let's start off with how this one started off.
Okay, well, first it started off with Annalise in a prison scene, and she's in her jail cell, and then she's getting interrogated by a couple of police officers, and they say that she could be held by arson and first-degree murder. And it is by an anonymous source. So I'm not really sure who that anonymous source could be.
But we found out at the end, though. We'll get to that. We're going to get to that. Because we do find out that this is a very juicy topic. Because last week, they said that we were going to get some information. They said that one of her peoples was going to betray her. So we'll get to that later. Y'all got to stick around to that because I'm going to tell you, my jaw dropped. I wasn't ready. I was not ready.
Yeah.
But, go ahead.
Yeah, and then we go into the past about 2 weeks, and Wes is getting asked a couple questions by the police himself. And his story is that he claims that he lost his phone while he was getting interrogated. And it turns out, Wes lied to the police. And basically he said that he saw Charles Mahoney walking down the street when we all know he wasn't really there. What are you doing there was?
Yeah, he kind of screwed himself off with that one because it was like, just let the attorney speak. I was like, why is he trying to speak out so hard to try to, I don't know what was pushing him so hard with that because I was kind of pissed off with him with it because I felt that was unnecessary. Just let the attorney talk for you. That's why they hire the best of the best to be there for you. So why are you sitting up here? Yeah, I was kind of pissed off with him for that. I was a little mad with him.
Yeah. And of course, next we hear about the client, and it's an antifreeze client. It was her kids texted about killing their mom, and it is a very emotional case. And one of the kids said that, hey, you can't believe anything mom says. She's a master manipulator. And I think that's a lot like Annalise, don't you think, Ash?
That's a little tad bit of Annalise. Yeah, I would definitely say that she's a master manipulator. I mean, this whole series wouldn't be if she wasn't a master manipulator. Shoot, in all honesty of it.
I know, that's right. I really like the quote from Annalise when she was just like, I feel better when I drink. Yeah. It's like, that's not alcoholic talking right there. Not at all.
Right. And it was interesting how they didn't really say much, but they definitely enhanced her stomach to try to make it look like she had gained some weight. She had put on some pounds because she had a little pooch going on. And I was like, see there, they ain't right for that. They gave Annalise a little pooch. But I mean, I get they saying, she eating versus drinking, which is, I won't necessarily, well, it's a better of the two poisons, I suppose. But they gave her a little pooch. I was like, y'all ain't right. Not even.
Well, hey, I mean, it's either that or like a beer belly, but she doesn't really drink beer, It's usually like wine or something like that.
Yeah, she don't want that. She
hard
don't want
liquor. You know.
Yeah, she don't want that little bitty stuff. She can give her the hard
Yeah.
stuff, the hard liquor. Liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
And Oliver has this third date approaching.
Now let me go ahead and put this out there because I said it last week. I said that Oliver, everybody knows, if you guys don't know, if you haven't watched the show, Oliver is Connor's
Yes,
ex.
you got it
Okay,
right.
yes, I got it right. Okay, because I totally always mess up his name. He is Connor's ex-boyfriend, and he is HIV positive. Connor is not HIV positive, but Oliver is. And he was dating this guy. He really liked the guy. They were making out and all this stuff. Okay, wooty woo. When are you gonna tell this guy that you are HIV positive? And that's where I was like, it should not have. He should not have allowed it to get to that point of them about to do the deed, and he has not told this guy that of his status. Of course, it's gonna change everything. He just thought that everybody was just gonna be open and accepting. I think full disclosure is very important, and people need to be honest about it and just be upfront. You know, if he had told the guy previously, maybe even when they were talking, the guy may have actually been okay with it, you know. But the fact that he left it up to them doggone near doing the deed and he throws it out there, of course, that should change anybody that has a moral compass. That should change their idea of possibly dealing with this person because that's a big deal. There are a lot of different factors you got to take into account. And I feel like that was very selfish and self centered of Oliver. He just felt like he just wanted his way, and whoever wanted to be with him was just going to do it. And so that scene was very. I don't blame the guy. I don't blame the guy at all because he should have disclosed that way before time. He had the time to do it, but he didn't. He waited till the guy doggone near, took off, and they sitting up there about to get into it, and he gonna tell the guy, oh, I'm positive, I'm positive. The guy was like, what the heck you got me going into? And I don't blame him because that's just being honest with another person, and that's why I want any of my listeners, everybody that's listening right now, full disclosure is key. All right, whether it's HIV, whether it's another STD, whether it's anything, give people the option of knowing what they're dealing with versus you just springing it on them like that. I was very upset with him. He's one of my least liked characters now. It's too bad he's not under the sheet because that was going to be the next thing. But I was not surprised that the guy reacted the way that he did because he didn't give him a proper time to digest such a situation. Maybe he would have dealt with him still, but I don't know. What was your take on it?
Well, yeah, I definitely agree. Like, that was a first date conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a very interesting character. He just wants to figure out who he is, and he doesn't have the confidence, I guess, enough to really be like telling people his status. I suppose I don't really know what his deal is, but I'm sorry he's not dead like you hoped for, Ash. But maybe next week.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So basically, we do learn that the president of the school, she's what you consider a drunk mother. That's what she called herself when she was. Well, that's what she called herself. Okay, so she called herself when she was up there on the podium giving her story, and she celebrated her first year anniversary sober, and she gets to see her kid twice a week. And their supervised visions, of course. And I think Annalise was feeling a little bit more for her because even though Annalise did get to have her child, she still was like, that could have been me. That's how I took it, at least.
Yeah,
and,
I definitely feel that.
Yeah, so of course after that, what happened? Annalise. Yeah, how did you feel about all that, Ash?
Well, that was interesting because, Annalise is she's a mean, she's mean anyways, but I think that especially as she is working on her sobriety, she kind of is mean. She's a little extra mean, and she realized that because she snapped at the president a couple times during the after the AA meeting or whatever. And Annalise was trying to get her some chocolate. Did you see that? Did you peep that?
Yeah,
She was trying to get her some.
I wasn't quite sure what was going on with that because I was like, wait a minute, you want to be your son, right?
He was trying to get him some chocolate. He wanted a slice of that Annalise pie. That's what he was trying to get.
But did the president say something to her, like, hey, watch out for that one or something like that?
Well, something to that extent. Kind of like a cutesy kind of girl talk kind of thing, like, I heard that he do this or he do that or whatever she said. It was kind of a cute, like a little, just like a girl's chat kind of moment, kind of an icebreaker.
I mean, he looked like a sugar baby to me. Annalise is not, like she got some money. So.
And probably, a lot of them men out there, they just want to get taken care of. We won't do that. We don't do that.
Yeah, but yeah, back what you were saying. After the meeting, Annalise was blaming her for having all those conditions, like going to the AA meeting. Mm-hmm. And then the president was like correcting her and was like, "No, this is your own fault. You made those decisions." You know what I mean? Yeah. So I really like how the president's starting to just, come back and really fight Annalise. But she's doing it in a way like, Annalise, you're making a scene, quit look like an idiot, kind of. So
and it was kind of funny, because at the end of that, Annalise was like, look, I'm not trying to be your friend. We're not going to be buddies. We are not going to be bosom buddies. I'm just here because y'all said that I got to do this. That's why I'm here. And she's like, no, you're here because you have a problem. That's the second reason why you're here. And I was very happy when Annalise stopped her on campus to give her that attorney's number. At first I was like, oh, Annalise gonna make a friend. No, Annalise don't make friends. She ain't got no girlfriend to hang out with. She gave her the attorney for the whole child. I don't know if it was a divorce attorney because I don't know if she was divorced. I'm not sure if the president is divorced or not. I don't really remember hearing about that, but I know that she's trying to get custody of her kids or partial custody or something.
Yeah, I don't think they talked about that. They were talking about just the kid.
Yeah, because I don't remember. She may have said something in her little speech about divorce. I don't remember. But
I don't remember.
Yeah, but I think that Annalise, that was kind of Annalise kind of extending the olive branch, kind of to say, we're cool. We're not necessarily friends, but we could be cool. We'll be cool. And she gave her that attorney's number that can definitely help her. She said this is the best attorney in the city that can help you with your case, because it's a specialty case. So I was really happy that Annalise did that. And that was good.
Yeah. Like also at the courthouse, and did you see when Nate asked Wes about the NYPD?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, fine, Annalise recommended a lawyer for me, and it really helped and stuff. And then Nate was like, be careful. And, which was meant like, hey, be careful, basically, of Annalise, because Annalise is, gotta be careful of Annalise. she's pretty crazy lady.
Yeah, and it was funny how Wes was he was in a slick way. He was trying to get in on what was going on between Annalise and Nate. He's like, yeah, Nate, we haven't seen you at the house lately, And Nate's like, yeah. Kind of like it's understood, I'm not dealing with that heifer no more. She crazy. I'm here for something else, but nah, you ain't gonna see me at the house no more, bro. You ain't gonna see me no more. So that was pretty
he's good. Really good.
Thought that was pretty funny.
So, definitely. Back to that case that they're doing for antifreeze. So, the daughter of the victim actually had a secret boyfriend, and they were emailing about joking about antifreeze and the mother. How crazy is that, right? And it would have been conspiracy charges. Like, how? That's just like insane to me. It just blew my head. Woo.
I mean, that would have been pretty crazy. That
But
would have been crazy.
Annalise told them like, "Hey, man, just stick to the story. It will win this case." Woo! And when it came down to them having the court, the mother was actually mocking one of the sons. Can you believe that?
I believe it because she looked like a mean one. She looked like just a mean old battle axe. She just looked unhappy,
Yeah.
you know.
It's just hate the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. People like that, they just you just let people like that just be because a lot of folks they just really are just that miserable, bro. They really are.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with you. So I'm sorry, but it was very nauseating to see Wes and Laurel. I mean, before they got into bed together, it was just kind of like these stupid lies, like, "Oh, let me go check out this person over here, and oh, I'll go help you out." Oh, then they go having their secret love affair, and it's just like, why? Why are you doing this to me, Hathaway? Murder? These two are so nauseating together. Don't you think
It is
so?
weird, I will say that.
So not what I want to see on a Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something extra. I would definitely say that.
Yeah, and then unfortunately they find out that Charles, is it Mahoney or Maloney? I never know which one it is. Basically his half brother has an alibi. The charges are dropped, and nobody is safe. It's just like whenever they're in the clear, they're not in the clear.
Basically, it's like it's only for like a millisecond. So that whole lie that West told the police, now that stupid lie makes him suspect.
Yep, number one suspect. Whew. So that makes everybody in the group come together, and Annalise, and they're just causing a ruckus. And then Annalise is like, "So tell me, how did I ruin your life?" So everybody else basically gets in line. Michaela, some of the stuff she was saying is like, you did she say that you made me screw Caleb? Or you just told me to go ahead and do it. I
No,
think she said something.
she said basically you basically yeah, like you said, you basically made me do it. She's like, "No, I didn't." I said she said the opportunity opened up itself and I knew that you would take it.
Mm, yep. And Connor said you made us all basket cases. Asher said, "I'm not happy. We're all not happy." And he calls her a bully. Wes refuses. He said, "You already know what I think about you."
Mm-hmm.
And Laurel, I don't remember her coming up to say anything.
She said some slick stuff, but it wasn't like I don't know. She said some little slick stuff, and I don't even remember. I don't know because she's such a forgettable character. You kind of forget she's there until they show until they show the light on her. Then you're like, oh yeah, Laurel. But I don't know. Laurel's crazy.
Yeah, well, of course she is. And then oh man, then we come to learn that the old woman poisoned herself. Teach your children a lesson.
Yeah, you gotta
Like,
be a
that's
sick one.
extraordinary.
You gotta be a pretty sick puppy to poison yourself. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. Really sick. I mean, you could have easily put everybody in jail. Their own flesh and blood. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who else are we on to now? You wanna talk about?
When Wes came to Annalise's house, right? I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember like why they said these quotes that I have down, but I can't remember why. Like when she was like, "You don't have the luxury to feel sorry for yourself. Not fair to your mother. She sacrificed herself so you could have a better life."
Yeah.
I
Because
remember why.
he was basically talking and saying, he should just turn himself into police and blah blah blah. And then she was like, "Look, fool, you basically got a clean slate. You don't have anything necessarily to worry about. Your mother sacrificed, everything for you and for me. She wants you to live the best life possible. So don't be
Yes.
foolish and just let it waste like that." So that's really where a lot of that stemmed from. And I don't know. I guess at that time she may have felt that maybe he needed some reassurance from her. So that's why, she kind of gave him that little extra. Like that, she always loving on Wes. She always looking out for Wes and Wes. But we'll get back into that. But let's we'll jump back to Laurel in the beginning. In the beginning, one of the opening scenes was Laurel in the hospital. She comes to. She can barely breathe. They're about to give her some oxygen. And she's trying to write down something.
Yeah.
And Maggie gets the paper from her, and she writes down, Laurel writes down Wes. And Maggie's telling her, we're looking for him. We're going to try to find him. And we don't know where Wes is. But to jump back over, so Wes and Laurel, they're a thing or something now. I don't know what to really call it. There's something extra now. And it's weird. And he is saying that he was thinking about her since like the first time in class, that she got in trouble for him and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, it is what it is. It's something. But like I said, Laurel's such a forgettable character. You kind of forget that she's there until she's on the screen. And it was funny because in that first scene, when they're like, going at it or whatever, you look over into the next room, and who's standing up in that next room?
Frank.
Bad man Frank.
He saw that, right?
Huh?
He saw that, right? It was kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, he saw. He know what was going on.
Oh, okay.
He can hear. Yeah, that fool, he is like a freaking ninja. Frank be picking up on everything, okay? Everything. So he already know. He probably got his little feelings hurt. And where did he go after that?
Bonnie.
And see, one thing I like about Bonnie now, Bonnie's starting to show a little spunk. I don't know if it's Annalise rubbing off or what, but I'm liking this new Bonnie because she got some flair to her. You know what I'm saying? She got a little spice going on. And Bonnie was like, all right, fool, come on in. Let me talk to your crazy ass. So she's sitting up there talking to him. He started up with how this and how that. And Bonnie already done figured him out. She's like, oh, you went to go visit Laurel, didn't you? And she didn't want you, huh? Oh, so you coming to me? I'm a sloppy seconds, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then he started up with the crocodile tears. And I was so proud of Bonnie because she wasn't even affected by it. She was like, I don't believe anything what you got to say. When you left me in that room, you left me by myself like that was the most selfish thing that you could have did. And she said, Annalise was right about you. Annalise was right. You're only about yourself. And you don't care about nobody else. And no, I'm not going to fall for it.
You use people.
Yeah, you use people. Yeah, all of that extra stuff. She's like, I'm not falling for it. I fell for it before. You ain't going to fool me again. You're not going to fool me again. So, I don't know. Maybe his head is up on the chopping board. Maybe he the one that get killed. I don't know. Because at this point of the game, everything is up in question. Honestly and truthfully. Anything is up in question now because I just don't know. I just don't know, Ro.
You just don't know?
I just don't know no more.
Well, you don't forget she kicks him out,
Yeah, she yelling, get out. I mean, he was crying crocodile tears. I ain't never seen a man cry. Them was some big tears. It was a lot of water. I was like, for a man, that's a lot of waterworks. But we all know that he know how to put on a show. Yeah, that man, this ain't his first rodeo. This is not his first rodeo. So, that was, like I said, I was happy to see that Bonnie had finally stood up for herself and did something that, made sense to do. So, I tip my hat to Bonnie.
Let's not forget about Drunk Ollie showing up at Connor's. And, basically tells him about the whole Thomas thing. And then he confesses that he misses him, and then Connor tells him, I miss you too, and then they start making out and tearing off their clothes and just getting down, I suppose. So I guess they're back together. Not really sure what that means.
I guess we'll find out next week.
Yeah, I mean, we still have 2 episodes left in the season.
Yeah.
It's weird. It feels like the seasons ain't really like going down. I thought we had like one episode left, and they're like, no, 2 episodes.
Yeah, well, it's
like,
one episode till we find out who gets killed.
Yeah.
And then there's one episode after that. And that's it.
So I know you're ready to talk about the final thing.
No. Did we miss somebody? Michaela and the other crazy little white boy. What's his name again? I forget his name. Asher. Yeah, Asher and Michaela. They still. That's a weird combination, I will say. They're definitely a strange combination. But they seem to be working through their differences or whatever. And they still haven't gone into too much depth with her background. She's still kind of scratching people's eyes out during class. But they haven't really gone too much into detail with her background. So there's a lot of question there as far as what her background is.
Right. And she's probably adopted. Probably figured that much into.
But you didn't talk about how Annalise was going to give one student an A that, solved the case and wins the case for them. And who got it?
What, Michaela get it? I don't remember.
Oh, boy. You usually good with this stuff, Ro. You don't remember who she put on the case? She put Laurel on the case. And Laurel's the one that got the old lady to confess.
See?
So Laurel got the A.
You said earlier she's someone people forget about.
I forget about her all the time. I don't even know.
No, I can't stand that girl. Why do you think I'd remember her?
Yeah. And what else? I want to make sure we cover all our bases before we get to this coup de grace or this, Benedict Arnold. That I'm still shaking my head. Because I'm like, did I just see what I saw? Frank left Bonnie's place, and we ain't seen nothing else from Frank. But we know he's still in town. He's still floating around. He is still floating around. But I'll let you get into that the last 5 minutes of the show that honestly I'm sure left most of all the viewers in shock.
I think you should take it.
You want me to take it? Okay.
Yeah, I think you should.
Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. So they're still going back until when, real time when Annalise is in jail. And they're interrogating her, and they're like, you sure you don't want an attorney? And she's like, no, I'll represent myself. And they said, there's damning evidence against you, and we are pressing charges. We're pressing these charges. And she's like, what's the charges? And what are the charges? Arson and first-degree murder?
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, we have evidence on you. And she's looking like, what the heck are you talking about? You got evidence. What evidence do you have on me? Or, what is the source? And they're like, the source has to be sealed. We can't tell you the source. It's an anonymous tip. So they flip back on the camera there, and they show one Wes getting a deal from the police. And he is making sure that he's getting everything in writing. He said, no, this ain't right, that ain't right. I'm not giving you what you want. Because what I have to say is going to take her down. Nothing else is going to take her down but my word. So I want blah, 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 and on all this immunity. I want all of that in paper. I want it in writing. And then you get what you need. And it just went off like a light switch in my head. Has he been plotting this whole time? We're in season 3 now. Has he been plotting to get back at Annalise this whole time? This changes the scheme of the game altogether. Because for the entirety of this series, Annalise, from pulling this fool up from the waiting list to somewhat mentoring over him and to an extent mothering him, has been so protective of this kid, has been bending over backwards to save him, to prevent him from making further damage, or to really just, she's been that overbearing mother where he hasn't had one. So for him to double cross like this is, I won't say it's unthinkable, but I just didn't see it coming. When they said on the previews that we were going to find out who betrays Annalise, I just knew it was going to be Connor, because he just been acting like a prima donna last season. Like, since last season, he just been acting like he really got to stick up his butt in the wrong way possible. So I really thought it was going to be Connor, or at least Asher or something, or just something random. I would have gotten it wrong. If I'd have guessed anybody, I would never have guessed that it was Wes. No. Wouldn't have did it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely agree, but he definitely seems like the revenge type. I mean, he was the one that shot her. Let's all not forget about that.
You're right.
So it's not like it's Asher or somebody like that just is like an idiot that would just shoot her and kill her off for no apparent reason. I mean, he's got the motive, so we really should have seen this coming.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, Earl. I do suppose you're right. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know, like you said, it's just pretty crazy. Because like you said, he did shoot her last season. He did. And it's just crazy because it's like, okay, because I'm thinking of, okay, well, how is their dynamic going to change now? Because is Annalise still going to be protective over him? She seems like the type, just because I think because of how they're connected, in my mind, I think that she's going to be the type to forgive him and to just go on after she gets out of jail and everything. Because you know she's going to get out. She's not going to be in jail for long. She's going to get out because Bonnie and all the rest of them are going to take care of her. Really, Bonnie. And when she gets out, I think that she's going to go back to mothering him because she feels guilty that his mother died in a situation that she was involved in.
Yeah, like, if she can forgive Frank, she can forgive Wes.
Yeah, because I think that's coming too. But like I said, I don't know who gets killed. It ain't Oliver. We know it's not Asher. It's not the girls. It could be Connor, so that's what I was leaving. It's either Connor or Frank, really. You know, and if it's Frank, maybe it was his time. You know, because...
Wait,
huh?
Do you mean is dead?
Right. It kind of, like, I'm kind of on the fence with that because I feel like maybe she's going to forgive him and everything's going to be good. But Frank is almost as unpredictable as Annalise is. So it's hard to say Frank is safe. I don't know if Frank is safe or not. What if, I don't know, and this is just me throwing out an idea, what if Wes, in a jealous rage or something, sees that Laurel and Frank are getting back cool, somehow gets them to the house and then, you know, sets it aflame? I don't know. But what I do know is that the story has taken a very, very strange and unpredicted turn. That I can't say.
Well, that's Shonda Rhimes for you.
She's something. That Shondaland, she cray. She gone. Boo boo. She gone. Bye bye.
Yeah, I hate to see the man in her life.
I don't know about all that. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. But I know for next week the focus is Frank. So we know that Annalise and Frank are going to be face to face, or they're going to at least communicate in some aspect. So What are your thoughts on that?
I think we're gonna get a face to face, like a final countdown, a final battle, like epic.
Oh yeah.
Something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I mean we've been waiting like all season, so I mean they gotta give us something big.
Yeah, and then we also find out who's dead. So is it she? So is it that she sees Frank, and the next scene Frank dead? I don't know. Maybe because that sounds too easy, but I don't know. These writers have been getting pretty creative. They definitely have been getting pretty creative. So I don't know if it's going to be a final meeting. Oh yeah, Frank, I'm going to kill you, or is it going to be?
My name is. Have you ever seen The Princess Bride?
No, I've heard about it, but I never actually watched it myself.
It's like, my name is something, something, you know. You've killed my father. Now you will die. Love it. You gotta watch it. Right.
I will check on that. I will definitely check on that.
Oh, I'll make sure she does everything.
Definitely. So that is our recap on the show that everyone loves to hate. I have stuck in it this season, Ro. You know, I kind of fell off a little bit last season. I got caught up towards the end, but I'm back into it. I'm watching it. I'm staying lifted into it. You know, and this is the kind of writing to really grip a person like me, because you gotta really be into some real good stuff to keep me gripped to the TV, to where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a recap show on this show. Because I don't recap stuff that I don't like. So I'm glad that I jumped into that. And we definitely need to do one, Ro, on Luke Cage, because that's my newest guilty pleasure. I love some Luke Cage. Luke Cage is the business. I'm loving some Luke Cage. Everybody like a little chocolate in their life. A little chocolate. Chocolate drop.
He's a whole lot of chocolate.
So that is pretty much our show. Ro, let everybody know where they can reach you if they want to hit you up on social media or any of your pages.
Sure, my Twitter and Instagram is Roche_San. It is ROCHIE_SAN. Oh, can I give a plug?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's not for me or anything, but tomorrow is Who Killed John Bonet.
Ooh.
And it'll be on Lifetime at 8 o'clock. So if you're a fan of How to Get Away with Murder, I would check that out.
Ooh, I've been looking forward to that, bro. That's going to be good.
Yeah, we can totally do a speaker on that or something.
Yeah, we might definitely have to do a recap on that, because that's going to be... I know you might have been kind of young, but I remember when that case happened, when that situation unfolded, it was very much a media frenzy. Very much a media frenzy. And that poor little girl, she was so adorable. But it's going to be epic. I don't know if you watched it, but they had a special about unsolved mysteries on CBS a few months back. And they uncovered some stuff that I was like, wow, I didn't even think about stuff like that. Wow. So that was pretty awesome. I love you guys so much. Thank you for downloading the show. Thank you for all the many countries that have downloaded me and you've checked out ashsaidit.com, ashsaidit.com. If you've got a question, comment, concern, you want to hit your girl up, info@ashsaidit.com. That is info@ashsaidit.com. If you want to follow me across social media, it's simple. It is One Love Ash, the number One Love Ash. One Love Ash across everything. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Keek, Vine, Pinterest, wherever. I'm One Love Ash. All day, every day. Yay, yay. All right? Believe in your dream. Don't let anyone talk you out of what you want to do. Anyone to tell you that you can't do it. Ain't nobody from the neighborhood ain't never did that. I ain't never seen nobody do no stuff like that. What make you think you so special? That ain't nothing. Oh, anybody could do all that. Well, why you ain't doing it? Like I said, keep living your dream. Anyone to tell you that you can do what you want to do, look them in the face and say, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. Point blank period. Stick a fork in it. I love y'all to pieces. Thank you so very much. We got so much more coming out in 2017. Big things popping. I love y'all. Happy Friday night. Yeah. We out here.